You know, it's amazing, man. So I jump right into it, man. Me and Factz, man, we go back, man, and we had some deep interviews. I'm gonna throw that out there before he throw it out there. In between lines and shit, right?
Do it.
Oh man, but Factz, I want to just rewind, possibly like 6-7 months ago. When did your latest project drop?
My last album dropped October 28th. It was my debut album, The Achievement.
Right.
Produced all by Knots. We had Styles P on there. We had Fonte on there rapping and singing. We had Blue on there from the West Coast. We had Currency on there. We had Smoke Dizzle. We had
man.
Wiles on there. Mila Mashinko and Showtime on there. You know what I mean?
So the layout was just mean, right? But I'm gonna tell you, man, as a pure fan, right, of lyricists like this, you know where I'm going with it, man.
Right. What's up?
That Styles P, man.
Yeah.
Listen, that back to back, that shit just gave me something, man.
Right.
Like, I mean, how did that just come about, man? Listen, Fact, and let me get this, man. I'm doing this right because, to me, I feel that just that album, that project, to me, is still in its embryo stages. I say that because I know that you express possibly putting out a new project soon.
Yeah.
Right?
Constantly, though. Constantly.
I know constantly, man, but to me, I don't feel, and you might feel that. You dig what I'm saying? Well, nah, my fan base gave me what I wanted. You know what I mean? Virally, they gave me what I wanted, man, but I'm a pure artist, and I feel that in order for me to continue to move forward, I still got to give them something.
Right.
But I don't think that they
ate it up.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I mean, for me personally, I think a lot of times in this new era, everything is so digestible so quick. So I made sure what I really wanted to do was do a press run of 600 bars. I wrote 600 bars before the album came out.
Right.
And I wanted to go to different radio stations and give them their specific verse for them that you'll never hear it again.
Right.
So I did that so that people could be like, okay, Mickey's back, this is what he's doing, this is what's going on. So that when they got to the album, they'll hear the album. Because I remember listening to 99.7, 98, listening to Mace freestyles on Flex.
Right.
Mace on DJ Clue, Tony Touch, all these people, and the verses would be on the album. So for me, I wanted to give people a whole completely different experience, that you would hear these verses and be excited to hear what's on the album.
Right.
I feel like, my first week sales was great. First month sales was great. The distributing company is extremely happy about what we did.
Good.
So, for me, I just want to continuously push out product because that's how the content and the revenue streams keep coming in.
Right. So here, I want to rewind this. To me, it was like you met a goal.
Yes.
Right. Because now, there was still a hiatus, but you were still touring in the in-between time. There's not a lot of artists that can maintain a level of dealing with life, but also tour. You know what I mean? With standard and great music. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
In that in-between time, putting this project out, did you feel like a new artist again?
That's a good question. A little bit. I felt like people were excited to see that I was back. People wanted to hear what I had to say and what happened in between those years. And I felt like I gave them that and more. And at this point, it was like a new beginning.
Right.
So now I'm ready to take it to the next level with this next project and more projects that I got coming out. You know what I mean?
Right. So what it did was sort of this springboard. Like it all showed, because a lot of times, like you said, you were able to get with a distributor, right? When people are out of that quote unquote limelight, right? It's so crazy because nowadays everything is forced upon you. You know what I mean?
Right.
You are forced to be part of the social network. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So now, because you are just that person that just might be responding, but not the artist in that sense. You dig what I'm saying? Now they're saying, you're telling yourself, could I get a possible distribution situation? You know what I mean?
Right.
You get that. You fulfill the goal. Now you're like, it's off to the races.
Right. You got to keep going. And for me, I don't want to stop. And my goal. My goal wasn't really a number goal.
Okay.
My goal was to be mentioned with the top lyricists and the top MCs that were doing it. And for me, that meant more to me than the sales. I purposely did what I did with the bars beforehand, the album and the mixtape beforehand, because I wanted guys to know that I'm back and this is the direction that I'm going in.
Right.
You know, I wanted the Royces to recognize what I was doing. I wanted the Buttons to know. I wanted the Grabs to know. I wanted the Crooked Eyes to know.
Right.
Even the Mad Hoppers. I wanted everybody to see what I was trying to accomplish and doing it at a high level. And I think I did my job.
Now, remember, so the album itself, man, had a slew of different artists on there. That diversity on there was incredible, man.
Yeah.
So you know, I once again I went into that Styles P, man. How did that come about, man?
Okay, so the Styles P record, it was supposed to be initially me and Asher Roth.
Wow.
We were supposed to go back and forth because I still to this day want to do a song with everybody I was on the cover of Double XL with.
Right.
So I reached out to him, he was too busy to do it. So I said, all right, cool, you know, say no more. I reached out to King Los to do it afterwards.
Wow.
And Los was, at that time, shout out to Los, he was like, you know, he was in a different mode of artistry.
Right, sometimes you get that way, yeah.
So he was like, I don't really want to get into it right now, but we could do something later on. I was like, all right, cool, say no more.
Right.
So I didn't have anybody to do the record with. I had a show in Ohio with Styles P, shout out to Styles P, and he came early to the show. Usually when headliners come, they don't really want to see the openers perform. He came early, he was like, I want to see Mickey perform, you know what I'm saying? So he comes through, he watches me perform, and then he performs, and before he performs, he's like, yo, before I even start this show, I want to say Mickey Factz is one of the best performers I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how I'm gonna follow that. He did an amazing job, and at this point, give that man his respect. So he showed me that love, and then right after that, he came up to me at my merch stage and he was like, yo, when we done with this road run, let's do a song.
Wow.
And I said, yo, I got the perfect record.
I fell right in place.
And then, you know, I went to the studio with him and we rocked out. We did that right there. And
but so now, because you know, I'm listening to. I mentioned, you know, I'm in zone.
right.
How do you take? Because now you're theme based. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you tell him the concept, and he just ran with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. That day I was in the D Block studios for like 12 hours, man. Like I stayed there for 12 because I wanted this done for the album. And you know, when we finally got there, I was like, yo, Styles, I just want to go back and forth. Not like how you and Jada do, but I want 8 bars apiece from us for like 5 times. I want people to feel like it's like a real cipher. And when the cameras was off, me and Math was just talking about how we ciphered for like hours.
Right.
But this is what we used to do back in the day.
Right.
And for me, for every project I do, I gotta remind people that I rap, because I do all types of different music.
Right.
So I was like, when I got to Styles, I was like, Styles, I want it to be like a back and forth kind of thing where we just going bar for bar at each other. And he was like, okay, cool. So he was smoking. And I would lay a verse down, he would go in the booth, lay another verse down. I would come back, write something.
Was that competitive edge there, somewhat? Because that man, y'all was go.
You know, shout to P, man, because P was definitely, he was taking shots. That's the OG though.
Yeah.
So I can't.
Hop, you gotta hear this. Hop, you gotta hear this song.
That's the OG. So I'm not gonna. I'm never gonna go against the grain. So I had to take those to the chin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was one of those joints where it's like, alright.
And it was song based. This is what I'm saying. He did it 2016, right? 2016 with an essence of, right, all this extra shit is out. I'm not taking away from it.
Right.
But you know it's hard, right, to try to maintain some. I'm listening to this shit, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm putting myself like, yeah, this is hard right here. I'm telling you, man. I ain't gonna lie, because I'm, you know, you getting older. I love the art of hip hop, right? Of course, I gotta reprogram my mental, right, to get back to lyricism, right? So I'm listening to this and I'm like, I don't know, I see where he took a shot right there, right? But I actually gotta come back, you understand? I rewound it a few times, man. So I knew that when I got this interview, I was gonna bring that up.
Well, yeah, I mean, he took like 2 shots, man. Like, hey, I mean, but it's style.
Back.
Yeah.
Nah,
but I'm saying lyrically,
I think it's one of those things where it's like Styles. He was out because I was doing. I love Styles, but for me, I was doing different styles of rapping.
right?
So on when he was responding, he said something like, I don't give a fuck about your styles or your format. Like, he said some shit like that. So then, we in the studio, so I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, I don't, how do you respond to that? So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna just write some regular shit and not go at him, because I respect it. And then he kind of leaned off.
Fuck it, Mickey.
I mean, that's the OG.
You should have pulled out the cannon like, whoa.
But I tell you this. It was a great. It wasn't even like it was it was just a great song, and it was what hip hop needed.
Right.
And it's still what hip hop needed, because to me, that album is still in its embryo stages. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
We know that the attention span is they done off. Yo, Mick, you got something new? You know what I mean? Yo, Hop, you got something new? Well, you're like, hold up, man, you didn't even really take this
digest that.
Right.
We in a different era. If you don't got the right publicist, you're not doing the right interviews, you're not putting it in the tastemaker's hands, it's a little difficult to kind of have it sustain a different level of trajectory.
But you sort of maintain. I'm not saying the ultimate, but I watched. There was certain sectors picking it up, man, which I knew you were kind of throwing it back from.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I didn't want to. It was not about having it like be a platinum thing. I wanted it for the fans, and I wanted the respect from my fellow peers.
Of course.
Like that to me meant more than it getting all over the place. It was really basically my Illmatic, because in this era of music, it's not really about the lyricism unless you're in the forefront with a cosign. When you consider like the Kendricks,
Right.
the J. Coles, they don't do anything different from what other MCs do. It's just that they have a huge cosign,
Right.
that's pushing them in front of the mainstream market. It's not even the record sometimes. It's who's pushing them.
Right.
So they are able to be the top tier lyricists to other guys. My theory and my mindset is, if these guys are so good, bring them to the radio station. Let's see. I want to see how good they are.
Right.
And I'm always like that. Like, show me.
No, right.
It's not even more so like a battle.
No.
More like, let's see who rap better.
Right.
I want to see who rap better. I don't want to dish you. I just want to see who raps better.
Right.
And for the most part, sometimes it don't be like that. And
Niggas scared, son.
Niggas be scared.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This guy, he's still. But not only that, I think what hip hop has become, what the culture of rap, if you want to title that at this current moment, there's no definition behind it. You dig what I'm saying? Where even when you speak about, you see our gospel, he came from the heart, you're coming from the heart. Dude is like, man, come on, man, nobody want to hear that early 2000s, 90s shit. You know what I mean? Or that definition behind what you think. This is all brand new right now.
Right, but there are still people that want to hear that.
Right.
On my way here, a guy stopped me. He was like, yo, Mick, I love what you do. And, I love mumble rap. He's like, I'm not even going to lie to you. I love mumble rap. But there's a point, after the club is over, I get in the crib, I put on my 2K, I smoke my joint, and I put my headphones on, and I want to hear that shit.
Right.
I want to hear shit that relates to me.
Right.
And when he said, because sometimes as artists, we be like, man, what am I doing this for?
Right.
What am I writing for?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, who's hearing this? Who is it reaching?
Right.
And because we're in a specific era, we don't have some of the analytics that other artists had in the past. Mm-hmm. We don't get a chance to interact with some of the guys that really want to say how they feel, because they feel like, they're putting themselves out on a limb to speak to us. But when they come across us, they say to us, listen, yo, your song helped me get through. Your song 414 helped me get through.
So now, go back to that project. That project, right, was nothing. Because now you give them now you're about to put out a new project, right?
Yes.
But the last project, you know, artists will always try to give them a style that's currently out. I didn't hear none of that. I didn't hear not a level of disrespecting what's currently out. I heard pure hip hop, right? Not taking away from what's currently out, but I find that with artists, right, that have longevity in the game, some still try to give the audience what's currently out. I love the fact that you kept it making facts.
Right. I mean, that's one thing I learned in this life. You gotta be yourself. Period. The moment you step outside of that box and try to do something that you're not, you go against the grain of what you've already built. Now, let's not get it confused. I like some of the music that's out there.
Right.
And I can do it. But my fans, when I do it, sometimes my core base be like, yo, why did you do that?
Right.
And that interferes with the bread.
Right.
So it's a conundrum. Because I'm left in a rock and a hard place.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why I want to put out multiple projects.
Right.
So, we in 2017. And I already put out a mixtape of rare freestyles and unreleased verses. So I put that out. This month I'm putting out a EP about Black history. It's called Ephemeral Eternal. And it's just all Black based facts and history.
Oh, you think? But so now let's rewind this. Remember, even though you have that core fan base, right? They're still fickle. Do you think that they're ready for that?
I think they just want the content. I don't even think it's about what they're ready for. They just want to hear it. They just want to hear something constantly and consistently. So for me, and sometimes it's not even about what they want to hear. It's about what I'm feeling at the moment and what I'm inspired by. They are fans of what I do lyrically. They are fans of what my storytelling. They are fans of how I express myself.
So you just feel that they're hearing something. They're hearing Mickey Factz. You dig what I'm saying?
At that moment.
Right.
So I want to give them that. And then right after that, the deluxe version of The Achievement is dropping in April. Make sure you guys cop that.
Right.
We got Royce the 5'9" on there. We got Pharoah Monch on there. We got Stolly on there. We got Sky Zoo on there. We got Graph on there. And we're just gonna continuously push forward. It's art form.
And you know what's so crazy? I want to rewind this, man. The fact it amazes me, and I'm not saying it in a disrespectful way, but I love the fact that you're still able to maintain relationships, right?
Yes.
A lot of artists cannot do that. You know what I mean? Because now, you sometimes, the artists may put themselves down because they feel they're not there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You take it upon yourself and clearly still understand that if they can't get on this, I'm eventually get on them, but they responded to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't take offense to things.
Right.
So the Asher Roth and the King Los thing, like, those are still my homies.
Right.
I spoke to Asher last week.
Right.
I spoke to King Los 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And they both like, okay, now it's time.
Right.
Once an artist becomes emotional about not getting the feature or something like that, it kind of, you kind of look a little crazy. You know what I mean? And I don't take offense because I'm an artist myself. You know what I mean? So sometimes I take offense to it. Like, damn, this nigga.
Yeah, right. Because you still
Am I whack?
Yeah.
Or is this nigga skate?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I have to backtrack and be like, all right, you know what? I've done that in the past.
Right.
And as we grow older in age, you mature and you say to yourself, you know what? I need to test my pen to see if I'm that good as I think I am.
As you think, right.
At times, sometimes I be feeling like I'm dead nice and that niggas is not better than me.
Right.
And then I might hear some shit and I'll be like, man, this nigga's kind of nice. This nigga's kind of better than me. I ain't gonna tell nobody.
You ain't gonna, right.
But I'm gonna do some shit that's gonna put me back to where I feel like I'm better than the next person.
So let's